Welcome back to my channel. So this is a part 2 of parent-child communication in Angular 19. So in part 1 we understood how can we use at the rate input decorator, at the rate output decorator, and at the rate view child. So in the fourth part we are going to understand how can we use share services between the components. So I'm just going to follow the example. So first of all, I will be creating a user service. We have already created one service, data service, but here I'm going to create a new service. So I can give you like a refreshment of services as well, and we can understand this concept. Okay. So for services, ng g as for services, and we want to use this folder services and user. So it will create my service named user inside services folder. It generated two files. One is service file and second is spec file. Spec file can be used for creating test cases, and in this video we are not going to cover the test cases, so we will understand only the concept of shared service. So I created this service. Now I will be declaring some variable and try to use that in my component. So so I will be using this code. Actually, I will copy instead of writing from scratch. We don't need constructor here. So we have this decorator at the rate injectable. It means it's a service providing root mean. It could be available in the whole application. Behavior subject. Let's import from rxjs. So here I declare this variable username is equal to, let's say, Sunny s, and in number 10, current username is equal to this dot username. From here, as observable, I am taking it as a observable, and it's storing the value of this username Sunny s in this variable. So I can call this variable somewhere in my component and use it. So let's understand. So now uh, let's try to use directly in this user list component instead of creating a new component. So we have we have already understood what is it doing. So in my user list component, sorry, user detail component, we are going to use, yeah. So I declare this variable username. So I have to inject my service like this. Now user service is available here, and now on ng on init. So I have to use ng, yeah, I have to implement it first. Implements ng on init. What is the syntax? Yeah, on init. This one. So ng on init is a one of the life cycle hook. On life cycle hooks, I am just going to bring a video very soon for you, so we can understand what are life cycle hooks and how do they work. So here, this dot user service, uh, inside user service we have this current username dot subscribe. We can subscribe it here. and let's give it alert. Alert is not defined. How? How is this possible? Okay, so let's try to console.log. So we got here Sunny S. Yes. So we can also view it in console. Yes, you see we are getting the name Sunny S. So now let's declare it username. This dot username is equal to name. Now with the help of interpolation, uh, let's give it a h2 like this. Username. So on screen it should be Sunny S. Let's our yeah, let's call it just before this one. So it remains on bottom. So username is Sunny S. Now what will I do? I will click a button on first component, that is user list, and update this value username. So how can we do it? So I will try to follow this example as soon as possible. I will be using the same code, okay, to save my time. So what I have to do here, I have to go to my user list component. I created this input. On input of it, I will be creating a function called update name. In my user list, uh, let's copy. We have to use the service here, and what we are doing here, let's understand it. This user service dot change username event dot target dot value. So we are calling this function change username and updating this name, this dot username dot next name. So it will update the variable and store in this current username, and which we are calling from our this user tail component. So on my user list, let's do step by step so we understand. Now what I'm going to do here, alert event dot target dot value. Let's here, so you see, so it's happening well actually. So here I got this value passed to my service, this user service dot change username, and in change username I am updating name of this username, and this is getting stored in this current username, and we are calling it in our user detail component on ng on init, and under this subscribe we are updating the value of the variable, and this is getting displayed in our child component. So guys, this is how we can use the concept of like share service in Angular for communication between between the two components, or we can say to pass the message from the parent component to child component. So guys, if you find this video useful, helpful, then please do subscribe and hit the bell icon, and let's catch up in the next video with some new interesting topic. Thank you.